Stage one of the 5th edition of the Dubai Tour got underway from Skydive Dubai down on the waterfront in Dubai as a 111 rider peloton packed with by far the best sprinting talent ever assembled for this race got underway for a 167-kilometre stage for its now traditional finish at Palm Jumeirah. Mark Cavendish among them, the returning defending champion Marcel Kittel, as well as John Degenkolb, already with 2 wins to his name this season. Dylan Groenewegen, the winner of the Champs-Élysées stage on the Tour de France, also among the pack. When the flag dropped, the attacks came inevitably. It took about 6 or 7 minutes eventually for the breakaway to establish themselves. 5 men getting away, including Andy Fenn from Aqua Blue Sport and Daniel Tekla-Heimanot, racing for Cofidis these days, having left Team Dimension Data. But it was the local rider, Mohamed Al Mansouri for the UAE national team, who stole the honours at the first of 2 intermediate sprints, taking 5 points and the lead in that competition with 1 more sprint to come. That played out very differently, watched on by the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed, from the comfort of his vehicle. As they returned from the desert and headed back in towards Dubai, it was Daniel Tekla-Heimanot who just rode off the front in the final kilometre before the 2nd intermediate sprint and found that he had a gap. He took 5 points there to go level with Al Mansouri in the intermediate sprints competition. From then on, though, it was all about the expected bunch sprint, and bit by bit, as they re-entered Dubai, the race came back together again. 65 kilometres, and they only had 1 minute and 40 seconds, but by the time they were inside the final 40k, the game was almost up. That prompted Andy Fenn to attack, which he did, with 23.5 kilometres remaining, and Charles Planet from Team Novo Nordisk joined him briefly before it was all too much for him. The other 3 were then caught, including Tekla-Heimanot. Planet then sat up, Planet becoming Plan B. Plan B was Andy Fenn, trying to solo his way to victory with just under 20 kilometres remaining. Held on to his lead, extended it for quite a while, but then he too was caught just inside 10 kilometres, and the big wide roads allowed the big sprinters' trains to get involved. A crash, though, with 8 kilometres to go, wiped out more than half of the Astana team, as well as a couple of other riders as well going down. I think they've all emerged relatively unscathed. In the final kilometre, it was Dylan Groenewegen who unleashed his sprint for the team Lotto NL Jumbo to perfection, putting Elia Viviani close to the barriers and looking for space. Meanwhile, down the middle of the road, there was a big move from Astana's Magnus Cort Nielsen, who came from nowhere and in the end pushed Dylan Groenewegen very, very close for the win. But the Dutchman took the victory, and with it, the leader's jersey going into stage 2. The overall standings, courtesy of the time bonuses, give him a 4-second lead over Magnus Cort Nielsen.